Hey, so summer school, English, lesson 2. That's our job for today. I'm sure here you can see the big words at the top of the slide, thesis or claim. That's our topic for today. That's our goal, is to be able to identify or find a thesis, um, sometimes also referred to as a claim or even the main idea. So you may hear it called all three of those. Uh, that's what we're looking for today. So, why are introductions so important? Let's start with that question. When we're reading a piece of text, or even sort of, getting ready to watch, like, I don't know, a TED Talk in class, why do we need an introduction? Why is that important? Let's think about that. Why would that be important? Come up with one answer in your head. And one of those answers, hopefully, is that it gives you an idea of what you're fixing to read. So, your brain works like a computer and it wants to organize things. So, if you think about how a computer is organized into all these little folders and it has all these little spots for things, your brain's very much like that. And so, when we are getting ready to read a piece, we kind of want to know, okay, what am I going to be looking for here? What am I, getting ready to read? The thesis or the claim is usually found in the introduction, and it's found in the introduction for a reason. And that's because we want you to know at the very beginning what ideas you need to be looking for. And the thesis is what drives that. It is what unifies or determines the layout or the structure of the text. And it is what we go back to when we are writing to make sure that everything we're including in the text ties in with this main idea. When we are reading, we want to be able to find the thesis and then what ideas the author has included to support that main idea. So this is why the thesis or the claim is critical. We need to be able to find that and spot that. So let's work on that. That's going to be our job. So let's think about how we write. Writing, if we put it on a piece of paper, if we use the ideas and outline them, it would kind of look like this upside down triangle. And it's because we have the introduction tells us about the topic, and the topic is not the same thing as the thesis. A topic can be said in one word. This whole paper is about vacations. That's a topic. It's very general. It could be anything about vacations. So the thesis gets more specific. So that's why we're traveling down and we're getting less space, because we're getting more specific. So the thesis is, how does the author feel about vacations? What does the author want you to know about vacations? It gets very specific. The best vacations are taken to the beach. So that's how the author feels about beaches or vacations. Vacations was our big idea, specifically beach vacations. Now we have supporting ideas, like, why is the beach the best vacation? And you might say we need some supporting ideas, things that, confirm why the beach is the best choice. And we may say, you have lots of activities. The weather is fantastic, so, you can pack light because you don't have to take a bunch of warm clothing. And there are lots of restaurants and attractions to go see while you're at the beach. I don't know if that's correct or not, but nonetheless, the more specific the information gets, the narrower the, triangle gets. Again, if we looked at a paper, right, that was organized using this little map, it would look like this. So in our introduction, we would introduce the topic, because in order for me to read this, I got to know what it's about. Then we're going to tell our audience specifically more about this topic. What is the exact thing I want you to know about this topic? And here are the reasons why I can make this claim right here. I can say that, the best vacations are taken at the beach. So please notice that all these ideas are connected. These are the order in which these are going to show up in the paper. This is a map for writing. Okay, and if we know this map, then we know where to go find this information. So if I've just read a passage and the question is, what is the topic? I know I need to go to the introduction and I need to look in those first few sentences to find out what generally is this all about? What is the big idea here? And then I need to find the thesis, also located in the introduction, but it will be a statement that gives me more specific information about this topic. In my body paragraphs, I'm going to find these. I'm going to find supporting idea number 1. Again, that ties in with this thesis. Supporting idea number 2, that ties in with this thesis. Supporting idea number 3, ties in with this thesis. This number can vary. I may only have 2. So this can vary, but again, all of these support this thesis. So if your question is, identify one supporting idea, I know that that's going to come after the thesis statement. It's going to come after the introduction. It's going to be located in the body. So this is why you want to know how things are mapped out in a paper. How does writing look if we mapped it out, if we turned it into an outline? If we wrote an essay on dogs, this is sort of an outline of what we might find in the paper, the ideas we might find in the paper, or the reverse. If we were being asked to write a paper about dogs, this is how we would outline it and get ready to go do that. So in my introduction, I would say, dogs are fantastic. I might even find a quote about how great dogs are to get things started and get my reader thinking about dogs. Then I'm gonna hit you with, what my claim is, and I'm gonna say dogs are the best pets. And then I'm gonna support that with reasons. My first reason is gonna be that dogs keep you healthy. I'm gonna support this with like a personal story. My dog makes me walk every day, so therefore I'm not as fat as I could be. And I might use a statistic. Dog owners are 81% healthier than non-dog owners. I totally made that up. But nonetheless, you see how all of these tie together, right? Then my second idea, a reason that supports why dogs are the best pets, they give you unconditional love. And I may talk about a time where my dog went to the bathroom and I got real mad and screamed at him and whooped him. But he came up and, licked my hand or my face and was wagging his tail anyway. I may talk about a time when I don't know, maybe I don't ever get mad at my dog. So, but, or maybe I was crying and the dog could sense that and he came up and, sat beside me until I was okay. So again, 2 examples that support this idea about how dogs love you unconditionally. Again, these 2 support this big circle. This big circle is supporting our thesis. Our thesis is tying in with our topic. And then our final reason why dogs are the best pet, they protect you. I may say, like people who own dogs are not robbed as often as non-dog owners. And I may find some statistic that says that. I may tell you a story about how I was walking and this guy was trying to run up on me and snatch my purse and my dog bit his whole hand off. That didn't happen, but nonetheless. So this is what a paper would look like if we, put it into a graphic organizer so that we could look at it as a map. Got it? The reason that we're doing all this is because we need to be able to do that with our text today. So we're going to read a story called Isn't Everybody a Little Bit Weird? And just thinking about that title and the skill that we worked on in lesson 1, making inferences, what can we make an educated guess about just looking at the title? So I want you to take a little bit of time and I want you to answer these questions that are highlighted. Again, this is your title right here. Once you've done that, then I would like for you to move on to the story. And again, here is an introduction to what type of writing this is. This is argumentative. Anytime we have argumentative writing, we have a claim. So the author's going to say, this is true. And then he's going to provide reasons or support for why that's true. And that's what we're looking for. You know, in lesson 1, we talked about details. Those are the details we're looking for now. I would like for you to use this tool right here. This is the line tool. And I want you to come over here once you think you have found the thesis or the claim, and I want you to underline it. You'll probably do way better lining that up than I will. And play with it. Part of today's lesson is learning how to use technology. So you need to be able to make notes on here and be able to underline. So this is how we underline using this line tool right here. Again, choose line and it'll line it up, and then you're just going to underline. You can even change the thickness of the line if you want by coming up here. Well, I said that. Maybe not. Okay, it looks different. I'm sorry. All right, moving on. So anyway, you're going to underline what you think the thesis is, and you're going to underline what you think some of the supporting ideas are. What we want to be able to do is go back, and if you'll notice here, the paragraphs are numbered. We want to be able to, out here to the side, insert a text box and briefly write in a short phrase or sentence what this paragraph was really all about. And we want to be able to do that with all of our paragraphs. So that's your job now, is to come in here, underline your thesis and your main idea of each paragraph, and insert a text box and write a little summary about each paragraph. And by a little summary, I literally mean one sentence or a phrase about what this paragraph is about. I want you to work on the skill of summarizing, being able to, you know, take an idea and condense it into strong words and a few words. We're going to do this for 2 pages. This document or this argumentative essay, it has a grand total of 9 paragraphs. So you should have at least 9 sentences underlined and 9 small notes over here to the side. I've included a review sheet. This is your checklist. Did you underline your thesis? Did you underline your supporting ideas in the body paragraphs? Did you underline what was important out of the conclusion? And did you make notes in the margin summarizing? That's your task for lesson 2. If you want to go ahead and pause this, you can, and go back and do that assignment. I will be also including lesson 3 in this video. Lesson 3 is going to be a summary. So again, if you need to pause and do lesson 2, go ahead and do that. And then you can pick up here with lesson 3. Lesson 3 is writing a summary of what we just read. And we're going to use all of the ideas we underlined and our notes in the margin to help us construct this summary. Things that we need to know about a summary. A summary is a concise, complete, and accurate overview of a text. It should not include a statement of your opinion or an analysis. A concise, complete, accurate overview. Again, we're going to take what you underlined and your notes, which are in order, just like the essay is, and we're going to transfer those into sentences to create a paragraph that summarizes this entire document. You've got some help here. You've got a slide here that goes over really what do I need to include in my summary? Like what sentences do I absolutely have to have? You have to have the title of what you're summarizing. That's critical. You have to have what was the claim or what was the thesis. What were the supporting details in the order in which they appeared? Do not put them in any other order. Do not leave any out. And what was the concluding idea from the last paragraph, the conclusion? Do not include your opinion. Do not include anything that was not directly stated in the text. A summary would sound something like this. In the text titled, Everyone is a Little Bit Weird, by, and you're going to include the author. The author introduced the idea of, here is, the topic, and claimed that, here is your thesis. The author began explaining, here is supporting idea number 1. The author continued by describing supporting idea number 2. In the middle of the text, the author summarized the relationship between, this is supporting, the next supporting idea. Oh, and then the main point of the text was, this is that concluding statement. Notice how these go in the exact order that the text itself goes in. So that's your job today. You may use this sentence sentences, to help you draft your summary. They don't have to sound exactly like this. Like, by all means, put it in your own words. You want to be able to write and articulate ideas. That is something that you absolutely have to do as a functioning adult, whether you're going to college or whether you're going on to another grade in high school or whether you're going to work. So we need you to be able to articulate ideas clearly, and a summary is a great way to practice that. So you have the text here to go back. You have all your notes. You can scroll back up here to these slides and use your notes to help write your summary. This is where you're going to complete work. Anytime it's highlighted, that means you need to be doing something. So here, you're going to put, oh, you're not going to do that. You're going to put your cursor right here, and you're going to begin in the text. You're going to take off the highlighter. Take off the highlighter. You do need to be learning how to work with technology, just like I have to. You have to too. So we're going to write our summary here. This is your, one of your last tasks for this piece. Isn't everyone a little bit weird? Your reflection. So what did you find difficult about this assignment? What did you struggle to do? Where are you still struggling? If you can identify that, like maybe you can find them in the text, but you're having a really hard time transferring that to writing. Maybe you had a hard time finding those ideas in the text. Let me know where you're still struggling here so we can address that, and you can, redo this assignment so that you do well on this. And then rate your ability to summarize text, okay? How well do you write a summary? This is a very important skill, so we want you to be at least in this 2 to 3 range if possible. But if you are in this 1 range, do not feel bad. Do not feel like you are a failure. It simply means that we need some more support, and I need to help you find that support. Good luck, guys. Please make sure that you turn this in when you are finished. Email me with any questions. Goodbye.